Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 1,165th meeting of the Housing Authority and Urban Redevelopment Agency of the City of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Notice of this meeting has been properly posted and published in accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act. Roll call for attendance. Commissioner Dorsey. Present. Present. Thank you, Commissioner Wills. Present. And Chairwoman Marshall. Present. 5 commissioners present, sufficient for the conduct of business. We have a quorum. Ask everyone to please rise and join in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we move to item 3 on the agenda, public comment.
Ms. Robinson, Sandra Robinson.
Well, right now, I'm ready to stand to the council meeting about my bill. Short Park High Rise, my name is Sandra Robinson. The only question I got right now is a couple of them, but I wanted the policy book for residential services. And I was told by the executive secretary or whatever title might be, that I want to know cease and desist, because I'm asking questions about the situation I'm in. And then Shore Park High Rise, $1.3 million we were told to repair the place. Can y'all tell me when y'all thinking about putting some money on the roof and the exterior of the building? Because we have raw sewage, we've had electricity problems, we had injuries where brick fell out of the building. We've had many different, for 4 years we've been through that. You never had a meeting with us to tell us what y'all want to do. And as a resident, I've been terminated quite a few times in that building because I won't shut up. Person was taking my money, I gave y'all my money. Now I want to know, when is the building going to get the money to get it fixed? Can someone tell me that? Yes, please help me right now, thank you. What is it?
Ms. Robbins, I didn't want to take up the time, so I just wanted to make sure.
Take up my time, take it off, boo. Take it off, I'm here for it.
Will do, Ms. Robbins. We actually are reintroducing the annual plan.
You doing what again?
Reintroducing the annual plan.
Oh, okay, you making a proposal for that building to be fixed.
For all
That's
the
what you
buildings.
say?
For all the buildings, yes.
Oh, well, I'm not interested right now. I'm ready to take anything they got and get the hell out of there. Because I don't know if it's gonna fall. 4 years is a long time. It ain't like it ain't happening in New York. And I'm looking on my computer and seeing this side of the building hit down there. How many people died, I don't know. But I got $1 million accident insurance. And I even got in case the building fall and I ain't there. I got insurance for that too. Now there's a lot of people in there that's trying to live. They ain't said a word. They deaf, deep, dumb, and blind. I'm not. And I would like to hear from the commissioners. Please let me know. What are y'all's plans other than a meeting? For money? Real money, 1.3, that's what Yvette told us 4 years ago. First, I had to let her know, why don't you send a letter out for the scalpers around the building? Because these people thought the building's gonna be washed. I said, you know, this is ridiculous. And he lied, you did think, you know what I'm going to. You're welcome. Even like I can't do something about it now, because I can have a meeting.
Ms. Harris just walked out, I'll wait for her to come back in. So Lillian, I'm sorry, Ms. Harris.
Hi, how are
Ms.
you?
Harris, hello.
I'm back again about the same issue we had before. The anchor guy, he had came on the 16th of September, but he didn't come in the house and check nothing because he said the problem that I'm having, this stuff. Yes, they gotta get that situation done, but ain't nobody did that since he came and the supervisor of, I guess he's the maintenance supervisor, I heard that. Yeah, so nobody has anything back since. Houses is running around crazy upstairs, the ace is down the bottom. I think I record on the phone. So I'm just trying to figure out.
So the exterminator anchor pest control, they came out, you said on.
On the 16th.
So. We can have to go.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna follow up with our maintenance director, to get a full listing of what they use in terms of product. And we will actually,
they didn't use anything because he never came in our house.
Yeah, so I sat down, Mr. Yvette, we contacted, Anchor, explained the situation, and that he had to come out and do an extensive. When I left the office, which was last week, they were gonna be calling to let us know when they were coming out, if it was either gonna be the end of this week or early next week. I'm assuming that they haven't called us at the date because the event would have called me, so I'm assuming that it's gonna be early next week. They're supposed to come out, and like I told them that I'll be walking with them. They're not to come out, I'll be in the unit like I told you with
Yeah,
them.
because I had talked to him and he said nobody had said anything.
Oh, no,
to
you
him
bet call, I
about-
know, I was sitting there. I know the call's been made, we talked to him.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Lillian Miller,
I'm not sure what can be talking about, but can't, so I'm gonna go for it. So I have happy news to the residents of Stanley County with regards to setting up the committee. The election date is gonna be October 29th, and I'll be working with Judy to get the notification out. So you all get to elect on the 29th. I would likely have to pass out the flyers myself, because what I'm told, you can't distribute, if you're gonna run, you can't distribute. I really have a lot there. And then secondly, I wanted to do a few recognitions. I didn't do this, but this young lady right here, my line, she epitomizes everything that each individual that resides in Stanley Home should be, a street light in terms of. Patty Harris, can you please stand? It changed my perspective about people in the village. I have grown to love her. And although my nonprofit is small and I have to type up the letter and bring it back with me, I went to my foundation to give her a minimum of $2,500 go towards your house, or your rent, or whatever you're choosing to do. And then Miss Tippy made me tell me she's okay. She was somebody else that like struck me to my core. I actually called her today, nobody's answering. I'd like to do something for her as well. She's in a really bad situation, so her situation has not been resolved. This is the time I will be emailing you tomorrow. But I'd like to know that you all can take special because her life is different every day. Because of home, her life, she's not even the person she was 4 years ago. So this Stephanie, right?
yes.
It's Stephanie, I already know this time, we already know how to bring that going off the hook. I will be getting in touch with most of you before I go back to DC. And thanks for doing what you're doing this time, I know it's been a process, so thank you for looking out.
I'm sorry, I wasn't here. I never met you.
I'm looking at Miller, I'm actually, this is not about Stanley on the situation, because I'm at the bus in DC, but I live in DC. Like, Atlantic City become my home again, I'm an Atlantic City native. I just want to see them in a better place, that's it. We would want to live like them, so they shouldn't have to be living like this. But I'm trusting that this is time to do everything he said we can do. JJL. Foundation, I think I have one going for it, I'm gonna do. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak who did not sign
Surprise.
up? Okay, Chris, do you see anyone on Zoom? Okay,
Surprise.
thank you. That's the end.
Item 4 on the agenda, approval of minutes, these. For regular meeting, both open and closed sessions. And
August 26th, and yes for.
Item 5 on the agenda, reports of the board committees.
Executive committee met, and it will be a part of the executive director's report.
Item 6, report of the treasurer.
Yes, our report has been submitted to the board, which includes the cash analysis, cash positions.
$8,000 damages for September or for September?
Page 4.
Page 4. Not on the first page, it's page 4, you don't count the first.
Are you, numbers at the bottom? You see the numbers at the bottom?
Yeah. 436.
Oh, okay, I'm looking
Yeah,
at
so
the
don't count the
report.
first one.
No, I'm looking at the revised, we have a revised one in front of us. Oh, you're talking about the bills list. That's a resolution. Talk about resolution 9819.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Item 7 on the agenda, report of the secretary.
Considering the fact that we're all under the weather, starting with my voice, I will try to keep this as concise as possible. This month, the Stanley heating system and line work, anyone who's been out around Stanley knows that it is fully underway. All spaces. The physical needs assessment for section 18 purposes, the A&E firm, engineering firm, has concluded their on-site work. I've met with Stanley residents. Our last meeting was on September 16th. Our next update is rescheduled for next week. It was initially anticipated that it was going to be held today. We had to reschedule that to following. We have continued to discuss both the Section 8 and the public housing transfer process. For our residents to accurately understand specific needs, so that we can point them in the right direction if it relates to a third party. All of our phase 1 households, as we refer to in our transfer plan, have been issued a voucher, and all remaining phase 1 families have either a Section 8 unit or a public housing transfer unit identified and are currently at varying stages within the process. We our weekly update meetings with HUD to keep them apprised on progress, and we had several personnel from the Newark field office come down and walk the Stanley home site with us yesterday. Of our contractors, our new boiler contractor is actively working on both seasonal maintenance as well as repairs to boilers in anticipation. Unfortunately, our Section 8 director is not in, and here are of the vouchers issued thus far. We're at approximately 40 leased. We have we are continuing all Section 8 briefings with our residents from standing that received a voucher. Continue referrals for the DCA Housing Navigator program. Also have an updated admin plan on the agenda. From finance, special meeting date for an audit contract, and are targeting end of October for examination of compliance items. The accounting contract was also awarded a little bit earlier than that one. That was August 22nd. We're presently coordinating with their team lead for completion and submission of unaudited financials so that the auditor can start on their actual management side. Turnover, we had another 8 units turned from September 1st through today's date. That number decreased from 15 in the previous month, largely due to the fact that we're focusing on larger bedroom sizes to accommodate the Stanley transfers that we're targeting right now. We have another 3 that are anticipated to be complete by Monday. We have included the vacancy turnover tracker in tonight's board reports. We have defined the process internally between myself, Mr. Davis, and Ms. Brock to make sure that we're accurately tracking the progress, and we also have realistic dates and punch lists for each meeting. Personnel. So I'm happy to announce that we have hired a mob coordinator. The on the spot if you'd like to stand up, so one kind of associate that.
Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I look forward to working with you all.
Hayden came to us with a lot of experience managing very large projects, and she's actually already dove headfirst into a lot of the capital projects that we have ongoing and that we have. We are continuing our union negotiations for all 3 unions. Labor Council, I believe, is present on the Zoom, although my eyes are not focusing. I believe they're ready to give a update to the board in closed session.
Yes.
By next Monday, we anticipate that we will be working with a total of 6 local 55 laborers. We've also posted for maintenance repair. We also have a large amount of policy and procedure training that council has helped us develop. We're looking at over the past several months, we have updated quite a few policies, and we just want to make sure that all ACHA personnel are fully understanding what's changed. Also, requiring under our electric funds actual.
So I have a few questions with you, Tom. What are we doing with like the lawn and stuff, with the grass, like? Are we grass not being cut and stuff?
Department has gotten caught up on. I know that there's a are actively working on a bid package to go out. We're hard to handle that in-house due to the number of demands that maintenance department has right now. There's a lot of emergency work orders, there's obviously a lot of time and energy being put into. They get maintenance equipment that we have for grass cutting prepared. We purchase new equipment, but once so both myself, Mr. Davis, and Central problematic dumpsters that were behind the boiler house, those have been we had a number of dumpsters that had broken wheels, and the way the trash houses and trash areas are set up, they have to manually move them to be able to get the truck in. So are staying on top of it. They have so far here or replaced a little over a dozen, and they actually are further update today. They're sending another person out to do size assessment to see if there's any other.
What about you know, when I walk around like in the community, what about all the legal stuff with like maintenance and stuff like? What we have to do. A lot of like working on vehicles and looking at people out there.
But we are low on vehicles. So we have identified department by department a wish. Next part of that is going to be able to secure enough funding in the operating budget to get what year specifically HUD changed this, but you used to be able to purchase vehicles from capital. Are looking at the use some edge. But if state contract is done the right way, then that's still an avenue that we have.
We talk about bring sick. But are you guys double checking like the work and stuff? Because I feel like sometimes some of the residents, some of the work that is done, we pay these people a lot of money, but like some of the work is doing, like it's just, then like it's not off the part, you know, like they're not complaining and stuff, like some of the units are trying to over. You know, I was in favor of local 55 before, I used to tell you bring more local 55 before we get help with our people. we verifying this work, or we taking a look and see what they're doing and accomplishing, because some of the stuff they'll turn it over. They don't look up. Not right for the resident that we're trying to get them out of the stadium to a unit instead of then go over there and then they have a problem with a lot of issues, closet, they have a problem with clothes, they have a problem with and like a lot of stuff is not being done. So who's going behind them and verifying, checking, and making sure that actually parking.
So the local 35, the arrangement is when they're on site and they're reporting to work. Primarily our maintenance director. Project and director do follow up on their work. Quality control measures. But as I mentioned, so yeah, if there's an issue with the quality of the work, they still have to report to me.
So you still working on trying to get more people. I see like another thing again, I'm glad you said about the hire someone in this week. All over this. But that's because I think this. I guess the inline talks or whatever, basically figure out to the. But you're not hearing, so this is really kind of. But thanks to the work that you guys do, you're turning out the units over is accurate and team. And I know something you guys don't get a lot of credit for it, but I really appreciate you guys, the residents showing that you are turning units over and you guys. I would love for us at the time to try to our best at that. Using the first part. And also I wanted to find out about the supplies. Being that they've been doing it for a while, not having no supplies to turn some of the units over, like how we all with like supplies.
Board adopted the purchase order, that was February. Been ordering maintenance supplies regularly. But we haven't.
You can actually side of the rental. So please follow me.
Item 9, draft resolution to propose fourth adoption. Actually, from 9811-09-24 through 9819-09. Is a resolution authorizing the board of contracts for cleaning services at various properties for the period of October 2nd.
Yeah.
Two, resolution approving, authorizing the adoption of updated policy.
Policy,
Lisa Darrow Howard is on.
Yes.
Chair has asked if you could give a brief overview of resolution 812, which is the resolution to adopt the updated section 3 policy.
I'm sorry, which policy is this?
Darrell, if Alberto is better situated to take this, feel free.
Yeah, Rick, I can take it. I just the audio's in and out. Sorry, I couldn't hear. But with regard to the Section 3 policy, yes, we were looking to HUD requires obviously an update. The Section 3 policies with regard to the when you have vendors that come on, you look to see if there's any residents within your public housing or Section 8 that have those same skills that you can look to hire. That is the goal of Section 3. And what this policy does is put that into a written plan with regard to making best efforts for all vendors and making best efforts overall in order to utilize Section 3 residents in order to do certain projects and certain skill set that the housing authority may need for a particular project. So this policy mirrors a couple of policies which HUD had recommended to us and which we, in going through it, went through and approved and agreed with those changes and made those changes applicable with regard to the Atlantic City Housing Authority.
So, brother, my only thing with this resolution is that, I'm happy that we have something like this in place. But I would just love for us to have something in place that would be easier for the residents to be able to find out about this opportunity, to make sure that, the resident will make it easier for them to be able to have access. And we do have contractors that coming on to, if we have a database or something in place where we can look at some of our resident skills and stuff, and then we can recommend these things to the contractor. I think it's a good thing because sometimes residents lose their job and they're looking for employment. So if we can make it easier, make sure we be able to communicate this information to the resident, through. I'm happy that we're going to be having some the tenant associates involved, residential services. We need to bring everybody on board so that way, like when we get this information out there, it can be able to get to the resident and so they can be able to benefit from it. I think it's a great opportunity for our residents. We need to be able to get the information out to them fast and quick.
Yeah, absolutely, Vice Chair. And I would just add to that the policy opens that door, right? So the policy includes a set sort of plan with regard to training opportunities for potential residents. It talks about, yes, as far as the opportunity to bring a centralized area where residents could look at what opportunities are available with regard to jobs for Section 3. So that is all part of the policy. And first step is obviously implementing the policy, and now to train the staff and to ensure that that's being carried out in accordance with that policy.
Roll call vote. Commissioner Dorsey.
We can go over all this policy.
So, who wrote this one? Your office or maybe?
These will. So general, you're right, I mean,
Yeah, I hear you, Rick. Again, it's breaking up a lot. So I'm assuming we're on the asset disposition policy. So very quickly, this policy is with regard to the disposition of your assets, and this is talking about vehicles, things like that. This policy really is a combination of language which is included in your admissions and continued occupancy policy, as well as language that's in the resident leases as well. But that language has been put together, and this policy shows the process and procedure for the housing authority to properly dispose of assets that it has physical assets within the agency, and sometimes that involves potentially having a public auction, and certainly the public process that attaches to that. So that's what this policy is about.
Is this policy too, is it involved with like land or anything like this, or is just more like, like vehicle, equipment, just equipment, right?
Just assets, just physical equipment, things like that. Vehicles does not include real property, which would be land. That's not included in this.
Thank you.
No problem.
are we, roll vote?
Yes.
Rising the adoption of the security. We're done.
Yes, this policy is with regard to the security deposits. As you know, obviously the housing authority requires and state and federal law requires that security deposits are handled in a certain way with regard to the resident security deposits. This lays out the process and procedure for that. That includes, ensuring that that is put into an interest-bearing account, that interest is applied back to the resident account in some way. It talks about how that security deposit can be utilized with regard to potential damages. And again, this mirrors the language that is within the resident leases on security deposits, and also language that is within the admissions and continued occupancy policy.
Roll call vote. Yes. In favor, not vote. Resolution.
Alberto, you want to explain things?
Yeah, sorry, Chair. I really didn't hear anything in between there. So this is the residential transportation reimbursement policy. This policy was requested by HUD. It's not a typical policy that a housing authority would have, I should say. But in this case, in conjunction with HUD and obviously the discussion with the board and the management team, what the housing authority is looking to do here is to reimburse residents for transportation if they do not have transportation to get to units which they have been which they have found essentially different units for either transfer. This is for public housing. If you were transferring to another public housing property that has been found and located for them, or if you have received a Section 8 voucher and have identified a unit which you're looking to visit for a final walkthrough. This would be for the reimbursement of any transportation costs for that individual to go actually physically walk through the unit. Again, it's limited to that, but we wanted to make sure, and the housing authority's goal is to make sure that that the residents, even residents that do not have transportation, have that opportunity to have this final walkthrough through units if they are either being transferred or have located a Section 8 unit.
What's the difference with the reimbursement for like the moving to a different unit? Like, what's the difference between this and that? The 1,200.
The 1,200 is.
Yeah, I just don't want to. No, I understand it, but I just don't want to. I don't know. Just, yeah, but I don't want it to be something that people want to use it like in some.
No, there's a process to it where it can't just any kind of ambiguous. I just took it over. Policy, not a contract, so not to exceed a budgetary constraint.
I just don't want people that use it like you said. You know.
So there's going to be a very detailed process of communication, of notification, a walkthrough that is scheduled in advance. So we're just trying to lift the barrier potentially for our residents.
It is good. I access to that music.
Yeah, fully agree. It's limited only to those situations, Commissioner.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution approving and authorizing the updated annual PHA plan for the.
Yeah, so Tom can get into. Sorry, it's breaking up, but Tom can get into the annual plan part itself. But obviously this is one of the items, and all of these policies really are all items which are required with regard to our corrective action plan, which we've been working on with the corrective action plan and recovery agreement, which the Housing Authority entered into with HUD in late 2023. We've been working with the executive director and his staff with regard to this, and this is one of the items. Is obviously the update of the annual plan, which also included as an attachment to the annual plan is the Section 8 administrative plan, which will be voted on as per a later resolution.
So not to get too deep into the budget, but whenever you definition of a significant amendment policy that covers resident occupancy, also updated the narrative. Out of that, Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
Resolution.
Alberto, is Melissa, Chris, is Melissa on?
Daryl Howard, for my firm is on chair, and he can discuss, the Section 8 admin plan as well as the EBLL, the next two resolutions.
Okay, thank you. Right there.
Good evening, Chair. So Section 8 Administrative Plan, this sets forth, a variety of policies and procedures for how the Housing Authority will run the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher and Project-Based Voucher programs. The last policy that the Housing Authority had was from 2011. There's been a number of changes to the program since that time, including, in the last couple of months, HUD changed some of these regulations. So, we had to draft a whole new Section 8 administrative plan to address all of these new requirements, including HOTMA, and that is the policy that's before you tonight.
And I would just add, Chair, again, this is one of the critical items with regard to the recovery agreement, and the approval of the finalization, I should say, of the items necessary under the corrective action plan. A lot of these are changes which are required under the administrative plan, so this is a big update in order to comply with that.
So when you guys update this plan, can we get a copy of it, the policies and all that stuff, when you guys done?
Yeah,
So I'd like to have a copy.
A hard copy is gonna be a problem, because it's several hundred pages.
Okay.
I mean, we can do that. It's been up on the website for more than 45.
Yeah, so that was posted and it was available to the public with regard to the public comment as per the notice period required under the annual plan as well.
This is email all.
All the commissioners.
Yes.
Five in favor, opposed, the resolution has passed. Where's he, sir? Carol, when we talk about the 9818 lead level?
Sure. So the elevated blood level policy, this is about, there's HUD regulations stating that the housing authority has to follow certain procedures when it becomes aware that a child may have been exposed to lead. And there's certain reporting procedures. So this policy just, documents those requirements under the regulations, stating how the housing authority will respond.
I just want to say thank you guys for working on this, because it's been a long, long overdue process.
Update this policy, this isn't new.
It's a new one, right?
The update, this is an update.
Yeah, because we were in.
No, it's not, it's an update. There's been lead policy since the 70s, right?
We did one last year.
Yeah.
Last year we did one.
Mhm.
I remember last person was talking about this, like the update of this.
Adoption of this policy, the next step is going to be meeting with that does is, it lays out the roles and responsibilities of various parties depending on who gets voted.
Policy that says that they now want to do that, right?
This-
We have an initiative, and I as a landlord, had to then provide for all of our units. They're not typically tested at random. That was built after 78 doesn't, so where we are with maintenance, turnover gets maintenance like every 5 years. So it's been maintenance probably 5-6 times at least since the 70s, so we don't typically test unless there's some type of danger that somebody expects.
Update though. Yeah, it's not that we haven't had it and don't test, but this is for units that were built prior to 77. So they don't come in and test for lead every year. The other, yes.
Pre-check rate report and disbursements of bill there.
No, but yeah, ask your question, what you got here?
Does someone look at the liberty on here or on page 4? That was just for August, that was the bill for August,
Yes.
$28,000.
Legal. Yeah, it costs money every time
I
somebody.
know it costs money, but I'm saying that was just for 1 month.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep. It will be. Special counsel as well.
Maybe that's not.
That's what you
Well,
said,
no, when you type in a description in the system,
but she said legal counsel too.
Yeah.
So that's in Rick, right?
but the
Easily.
description for,
But I understand what you say, legal counsel and labor counsel, that's both of them doing it, right?
yes.
Yes, so it's a combination of the two, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Working staff to get that cleaned up.
Yeah, that's what I said, let's get it cleaned up if it's legal, let's have legal and have the labor counsel, so.
Well,
like, I'm
really,
saying-
it could just be August 2024 legal. It doesn't even have to have that. It personnel will come out and it could just say, personnel legal, August 2024. That's just typing it. But we know as a board, we approved this contract for labor and special.
No, I agree with that, Ron. Like I'm saying.
Right, that's why I said it could just say August
Like it's just
2024.
one person getting 28,000, that's insane.
Or you could just list the invoice number as well. So it's all you need, the month and maybe the invoice number.
Yes. Commissioner Goodell?
Yes.
Yes, I propose. I understand that there is a. Yes. Two votes, potentially two votes. The first vote will be to vote. Second vote. I think everyone has a copy of that resolution, city of Kansas City passed. Resolution that offered is one to enter into shared services agreement with the city. Or to purchase gasoline for their vehicles from the city. Okay. So first has moved to add that resolution to the agenda. We accept. First vote will be simply to add a resolution. For our agenda. Yours. Yes. Okay.
So where we're going.
But right now, we just add in this resolution,
Oh, yeah,
and then
okay.
once we get to vote,
Okay.
yes.
All right, yes.
Yeah. First, yes. We're in favor, one abstention, so we've added that new business, a resolution. Purchase gasoline in accordance with the. Motion.
I apologize, I couldn't actually hear your question.
What is
What is it gonna do for us? So if we're able to realize a bit of a savings on gas purchases for our vehicles. Power, therefore.
Yes.
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 What is the AC unit? Wait, what?
Or in favor, none opposed, one abstention.
For cover during committee, and or in a
Did send out an email with an update
Yeah.
to Commissioner Wells and Mrs. Johnson, so.
So I'll defer to Commissioner Willis and Commissioner Johnson if there's any other.
just want to say thank you guys. I know I was away for 2 months. Thanks to all the hard work you guys have done while in the there. Staff, working, congratulations. We're looking forward to working with you guys.
Motion, second.
This is the shortest meeting she ever did.
By Mr. Will, second. All in favor, motion to adjourn. Aye. Any opposed?
No, that's okay. You're all for time.
We stand adjourned.
Well, so